There was a time when the name Chrysler echoed through American streets, showrooms, and Sunday drives. It wasn't just a car company, it was a cornerstone of American automotive identity. But today, that once familiar name has quietly faded into the background. Blink, and you might miss the few remaining Chryslers still roaming the roads. How did we get here? This is a company that's weathered decades of change, wars, recessions, revolutions in technology, and still stood tall. But now, it feels like Chrysler's been pushed to the edge of the stage, watching the show from the shadows. And the reason behind this fall from grace? It's deeper, messier, and far more fascinating than you might think. Because when a giant like Chrysler stumbles, it's never just bad luck. It's a story worth telling. Chrysler, the brand. Chrysler first entered the big stage in the 1920s. The times were different, the technology was different, but one thing was present back then too. What? Ambition. The desire to be the very best, the desire to do something extraordinary. In 1925, Walter P. Chrysler founded this company, which was named after him as well. In the early years of the company, the brand was slowly becoming something truly special. The brand was known to be a powerhouse of innovation and progress in the field. The brand had a significant role in the perfection and invention of many of the early phenomena that shaped the path to the modern-day automobile industry. One of the very early influential innovations of the brand is the floating power engine mounts, which offered the drivers a smoother ride. The brand was also the first company ever to mass-produce four-wheel hydraulic brakes. And who can forget about the Hemi V8 engine, which went on to become one of the most iconic engines known, even to this date. And these were only what the brand pulled off in the first 25 years. Once the 50s began, the world witnessed a new face of the brand. Chrysler introduced the world to the car, which is arguably the pioneer of the American muscle vehicles, the 300. This car went on to become a legend in itself. It influenced the car market in ways that many consider still unmatched to this day. But Chrysler was also competing with the likes of Cadillac, with its very own luxury vehicle, Imperial. The brand was in competition with the best car manufacturers and was still able to keep up. Then, the times changed once again. But the influence of Chrysler on the market remained the same. Chrysler also went on to introduce many sub-brands and acquire some brands. One of the brands Chrysler once owned is Jeep as well. Dodge was making mid-range and performance vehicles under Chrysler as well. And there was also Plymouth for entry-level cars. Basically, Chrysler was a brand where you were going to find a car for yourself no matter who you were. The 70s were all about risk-taking and reinvention for Chrysler. After the brand almost collapsed, it decided to start restructuring itself to suit the newer times. The brand understood very well that it had to keep up with the market or else Chrysler would be left behind. During this era, Chrysler revolutionized the family traveling experience by introducing exceptional minivans. They also came out with a new halo car to replace the 300. As they believed the market needed something new that would still scratch the performance itch they have. As the new century was about to begin, Chrysler once again gave the market a few cars that would go on to be considered classics. They revived the Dodge Charger and Challenger, which the fans could not get enough of. They also introduced a new model of the evergreen legend, the 300. Chrysler became a combination of all the goodness the market wanted: performance, American style, and just the right amount of luxury to seal the deal. But this was not forever. The downfall. With time, the brand started to fall out. By 2009, Fiat took over the company after the brand filed bankruptcy for the second time, and things were not looking very good for Chrysler anymore. Fiat to Chrysler was like Cinderella's stepmother. Quickly after the takeover, the starvation began. Chrysler was starting to suffer, and it was apparent to anyone with eyes. Many of Chrysler's well-performing vehicles were suddenly discontinued, and that too with absolutely no new alternatives. With the brand losing its value slowly, the brand that had been in the market for over 80 years began to fade. But even though the ill treatment by Fiat may be one of the reasons that the brand started facing issues, there may be many other aspects of the same situation that many people usually miss. Well, the damage was not done in a single day. Damage of this standard takes time to be done. Obviously, the primary focus of the people was on the shrinking size of Chrysler's vehicle lineup, as it was the most obvious to notice. Right after the takeover, the SUV Aspen was canceled, and Fiat did not stop there. In 2017, it took out two more vehicles from the lineup, the 200 and the Town & Country minivan. The brand was visibly suffering and was going through a severe crisis. But then, things got worse. In 2023, Fiat went a little too far. The owning company decided to take out the star child of Chrysler. The car the brand was known for, the 300, was discontinued. But there are still more factors that played a crucial role in the slow downfall of Chrysler. Well, profitability was one of them. The brand was once a big name, but the glory of the brand was beginning to be overshadowed by the newer players who wanted in and were ready to do whatever it took. The Chrysler 200 was not able to compete with the Toyota Camry and Honda Accord. As these Japanese models began to dominate the market, the sales of the 200 began to plummet. The competition got so intense that by 2023, the sales of the 300 had dropped to 20,000. This was an all-time low. The brand was used to the insane success of this car. The car would make sales about 5 to 7 times more than its current numbers. Even the minivan that was so reliable and trusted by the mass market was starting to suffer against the competition from Honda and Toyota. But a big company played a role in Chrysler's weakening as well. Stellantis. The infamous big corporation inherited Chrysler after the merger with Fiat. But with 14 brands under them, Stellantis did not consider Chrysler a priority. Chrysler suffered from severe underinvestment, while all the other brands enjoyed way better privileges. Many believe the underinvestment to be deliberate so that the different brands could flourish at the cost of Chrysler. Chrysler, a brand that had been in the game for so long, had its plans for a comeback. The brand came up with a fresh concept and wanted to turn over a new rock. In 2022-2023, the Airflow concept became a topic of discussion. It was an EV program and was planned to go against Tesla and Mustang. The execution of this project could have changed the position of Chrysler in the market. But the project was sabotaged before it could become anything useful for the company. In January 2025, Stellantis scrapped the project. They justified their decision by claiming that the market is moving at a much higher pace, and the project would not be able to compete in the modern market by the time it hits the market. The comeback strategy. But this story is still far from over. Even though the brand went through hell in the last 15 years, it still hasn't given up. The brand has been taken to extremes, but it still has the hunger to come back. With hunger like that, the death of this brand won't be an easy one. After getting their project completely canceled, Chrysler decided to make an innovative pivot and get back in the game. Previously, Chrysler was focusing a lot on electric vehicles. But now, the brand is shifting its focus more towards crossovers. The company is now planning on offering hybrids, gasoline-powered, and electric cars. The near future of Chrysler is about to be full of many new projects that are in the process as of now. The brand is planning a hybrid or electric SUV for the year 2026. This SUV is predicted to feature a sleek and futuristic design that would be a breath of fresh air for people who are now bored with repetitive designs. This new beast is reportedly a project inspired by the scrapped Airflow, so the progress so far must not have been completely wasted, and is now set to be further refined and be ready to take over the market in 2026. The brand is also planning a redesign of its Pacifica minivan, and the new version is designed to be way better than the current model. Many other products are being worked on with immense precision and perfect technique that are set to bite the market in the next few years. The new image. The brand is now going through a new phase. With all their best vehicles being redesigned, the company has decided to edit its brand image as well. The new Chrysler is going to be different. The company is now on its way to becoming a minimalistic, tech-savvy, and modern brand. The brand is no longer focusing on competing with specific vehicles, but it is instead shifting its focus to making vehicles that more people want to buy. Knowing the brand's rich history, no one in their right senses would doubt that they can still make a comeback. The only thing the company desperately needs to get back to the top is the hunger that has brought it so far in the first place. No matter what happens next, right now Chrysler has the entire market excited to witness their next move. This was the legendary tale of the brand that just won't die. For more stories like these, subscribe to our channel. Let us know your thoughts on Chrysler in the comments below. See you soon!